Welcome to The Explainer. If you're a father and you're trying to figure out how to build a legacy that really truly lasts, where do you even start? Well, today we're going to forge a guide by pulling together some profound wisdom from Catholic thought, especially from the theologian Peter Kwasniewski and the powerful sermons of Padre Paulo Riccardo.
Okay, let's just dive right in with this quote from Peter Kwasniewski because it perfectly sets the stage. Fatherhood isn't a passive role. It's a conquest, a journey through a land filled with ambushes. It's something you have to win. So, what makes this mission so dangerous, but at the same time, so incredibly promising?
Well, that whole idea, perilous yet promising, it exists because a father's role is a constant, conscious choice. And it's the nature of that choice that makes this position both incredibly powerful and, honestly, kind of precarious.
Think about it. The mother's bond, it's forged biologically, emotionally, right from the very beginning. But a father's position? It's described as more precarious because his commitment is a conscious, ongoing choice. But here's the thing. That very choice is what makes him the essential pillar for the family's stability. When he decides to stand firm, the entire home stands firm with him.
But here's the key. This role isn't meant to be a solo act. Not at all. It's designed to work in this perfect complementary balance with the mother's role. And together, they create a harmony that is just absolutely essential for a child to grow up healthy and whole.
Padre Paulo Riccardo breaks this down beautifully. He explains that the mother provides that unconditional love, the warm welcome, the safe harbor. She is that affective bond. The father, on the other hand, provides the law, the limit. He's the one who gives that invitation to step out of the safe harbor and face the big, wide world. You need both. You absolutely need both.
And this leads to a really fascinating, almost paradoxical idea. The father has to act as a sort of necessary, loving intruder. His job is to gently interrupt that all-encompassing, super tight bond between mother and child. And he's not doing it out of jealousy, he's doing it for the child's own good, because that little separation is what builds independence, resilience, and the courage to actually grow up.
Okay, so if the father is the law, how does he actually exercise that authority without just becoming a tyrant and crushing his kids' spirits? Well, the sources are really clear on this. It takes a very specific and very important virtue, and that virtue is magnanimity, which translates to magnanimity, or even better, having a great soul. It's the ability to rise above all the petty, insignificant, day-to-day details and focus your authority on the principles that really, truly matter.
This classic Latin proverb just illustrates it perfectly. The eagle doesn't hunt for flies, right? An eagle soars high. It seeks out significant things. In the same way, a father's authority isn't meant to be wasted on nagging about 1,000 tiny little rules. It should be saved for the big stuff, the foundational lessons that build character.
And having this great soul approach helps a father avoid three really common traps. First, the tyrant, who rules by fear and sends a constant message of rejection. Then there's the indulgent buddy, who's so afraid of not being liked that he becomes indifferent and fails to guide. And finally, the overprotective father, who actually stifles growth by creating a fragile, dependent child. All three are a failure of true, loving authority.
But how is this authority best shown? Because true, magnanimous leadership, it isn't really about rules or what you say. It's about something way, way more powerful.
As Luz Yvonne Ream says so powerfully, the word convinces, but the example captivates. You can talk all day long about honesty and integrity and faith, but it's seeing you live out those virtues in your own life. That's what will truly capture your children's hearts and minds. It's what drags them along in the best way possible.
The Catechism of the Catholic Church gives us this really holistic picture of the job. A father isn't just a provider. He's an educator in virtue. He's the first herald of the faith who leads by example and who isn't afraid to admit his own flaws. He's the one who teaches his kids to pray simply by letting them see him pray.
So all of this, it leads us to the ultimate purpose of fatherhood, its highest and most profound calling. It's not just about raising successful kids. It's about building a home that points towards something eternal.
And when a father actually succeeds in this mission, the sources say he does something truly extraordinary. He founds a domestic church. His family becomes a living, breathing cell of the larger church.
It's a place where faith isn't just talked about, it's lived. He is, in a very real way, extending God's own fatherhood right there in his living room.
And what does that create? It gives his children a home to return to. Padre Ricardo uses the story of the prodigal son to make this point. By building a foundation of faith, values, and a clear moral compass, a father ensures that even if a child wanders off, they will always have a spiritual home, a set of truths, and a memory of love to guide them back.
And that leaves us with one final vital question for every single father to think about. What legacy of faith are you building right now, today? Is it one of magnanimity, of love, of a living, breathing example that captivates?
If you're looking for more knowledge on this journey, the channel Espiritualidad en Foco, which is administered by Sima Silva, is a fantastic place to continue this study. You can subscribe for more. Thanks so much for joining us for this explain.